Great to have everyone here. Let's talk about this Johnny Depp as a potential victim in all of this. Chris, it's a he said, she said, but he's saying that she's beating up him.
Well, yeah, Vinnie, that's been most of the case is about the abuse that he claims that Amer committed against him. And he's brought in multiple witnesses now who have testified. And that's a key part of his case, to show that she's a dominant aggressor, to show that this was a violent relationship that they were in. And if these things are true about cutting off the finger by throwing a vodka bottle at him and throwing a can of mineral spirits at his face, punching him with a roundhouse, you know, that would have landed her in jail. And so this is important evidence to show that she placed herself in a false light in that op-ed.
Dominic Romano, entertainment attorney. Let me ask you, if in fact people, and I say people, I mean the public, I mean maybe Hollywood executives, people in the entertainment industry, all of a sudden take a second look at Johnny Depp's life and who he is and realize, wait a minute, he was a victim here. He was a victim. Regardless of what the jury says in this case, is that a game changer for Johnny Depp at this stage of his career, his life?
Short answer, no. This is reminds me of the boomerang that can happen with the Streisand effect, right? An attempt to counter or an attempt to suppress what may or may not be true, in this case, creates an even bigger wrong. It's a Pyrrhic victory. So sometimes, even when you win, you lose. So, as you know, the ultimate defense to a defamation claim is truth. And so even if she can show that at some point, somehow, whether it was mutual violent control, whether they were both violent towards each other, or whether it was unilateral in either way, if he did anything, you know, if some modicum of truth can be shown in defense, then he might not prevail. And even if he does prevail, all the dirty laundry that comes out in the process of bringing a case like this can have a torpedoing effect on someone's career. He feels, according to his closing statement, that he felt this necessary, that he had no other choice, given the current environment, to defend himself against untrue of these alleged allegations. But unfortunately, in cases like this, even when you win, you lose.
Dr. Judy Ho, there's, you know, before Me Too and before we really are paring down, you know, in this case, we're talking about different types of abuse, et cetera. There was battered women, right? And there was this cliche, right, that the man would come in, often drunk, his wife, his spouse cowering in the corner, and she was a battered woman. And we understood what that was. Let's apply that to this situation. Does this situation paint a picture to you of Amber Heard being a battered woman, or is it something different?
I think the picture is emerging that it might be something different. And I think when we think about this battered woman syndrome, and again, this term is also somewhat divisive sometimes depending on who is using it and utilizing it to make a point, we're really talking about a one-sided abuse, that there is a primary aggressor and that primary aggressor controls all of the dynamics in the relationship. Certainly, I think that there was a possibility that Johnny could have been seem like somebody who is doing this because of the fact that he has more powers, he has more money, et cetera. But that is not the only ways to control somebody in a relationship. And I think now we can see, at least from some of the evidence that's emerging from Johnny's camp, that Amber can be manipulative, for example. She has ways to get Johnny to react to her, to bring out maybe the worst parts of Johnny, the parts of him that, you know, haven't been dealt with, maybe some deep-rooted trauma that he hasn't dealt with. And I think that this is a picture that's emerging that's more likely a mutual abuse scenario where both people are reacting to one another and both people know how to dig. They know what each other's buttons are and they're pushing them. And add alcohol.
Let me ask you something, Dr. Judy Ho, because this gets to another question. I hate cutting you off, but I need to know. Is there something intoxicating about being in a relationship like that for people that come from a certain perspective, that they need that extra drama in the relationship, that it adds some level of adrenaline or, for lack of a better word, spice to everything?
Well, it's a really good question, Vinnie. And I think what Dr. Curry, the psychologist who Johnny's camp hired, testified to was that perhaps there's something in Amber's personality traits that sort of has this chaotic nature that kind of is drawn to that chaotic nature. With Johnny, though, it's a different thing. He grew up in a chaotic household with trauma and abuse of his own. And sometimes people are attracted to that unconsciously because the familiar is sadly safer than the unfamiliar for people who have been through trauma. And you can see this as a trauma response. And so I think there's two sides here where both people might be drawn to chaos in perhaps different ways.
That makes some sense to me. That makes some sense because they chose to be together and they had these problems before they exchanged vows. Still don't understand that. All right, everyone's staying with us. When we come back, we've got to talk about Amber Heard's sister, Whitney. There is this video from a poolside, and I don't know. Some people are reading this video as saying that Amber was abusing her sister. It was used in evidence over the UK. We'll show it to you when we come back.
NUZZLE.com.
You testified previously that you observed Ms. Heard be verbally abusive to her sister.
Yes.
What do you recall about that?
It was ongoing kick the dog kind of relationship with her sister. So it's really hard to pinpoint any specifics, but her poor sister was treated like the dog that you kick, basically.
Wow. That was Amber Heard's assistant describing the relationship that Amber Heard had with her sister, Whitney. Now, Whitney's on the witness list. We expect her to testify. She's in the middle of a lot of this stuff. But we have this video I want to show you. It looks like it might be from like a reality show pilot or something. It's Whitney, Amber's sister, and a bunch of friends sitting poolside, and they're having a conversation. And it seems like they're talking about Whitney potentially being abused by Amber. Take a listen.
You do it.
I don't want to be killed.
Did you get in a fight or something?
Oh, thank you. Got into an altercation. I already talked about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I can't believe Amber beat your ass. I know you could beat her ass.
We're not going to talk about that.
Whitney, truth or dare? Okay, did you really start the fight with your sister, or did she start? For real, for real, for real.
We're not going to talk about that.
She really did whoop your butt.
Oh, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, I'm done. I guess I'm done talking about it.
I want to watch that again. And you saw at the end who Whitney is. This is really kind of, and this was used, again, as evidence in the UK. Johnny Depp's team brought it in. Let's watch it one more time.
You do it.
I don't want to be killed.
Did you get in a fight or something?
Oh, thank you. Got into an altercation. I already talked about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I can't believe Amber beat your ass. I know you could beat her ass.
We're not going to talk about that.
Whitney, truth or dare? Okay, did you really start the fight with your sister, or did she start? For real, for real, for real.
We're not going to talk about that.
She really did whoop your butt.
Oh, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, I'm done. I guess I'm done talking about it.
Let's bring back in our guest, Dr. Judy Ho, Chris Melcher, Dominic Romano. Chris, what are your thoughts about this poolside video? Plus, on top, you've got testimony from the assistant talking about the nature of this relationship. And what does it tell us about what this trial is all about, which is the relationship between Johnny and Amber?
Yeah, I don't know how that got into the English case, and I don't know if we'll see it here because the instances of other abuse or fights between Amber and her sister don't seem to be important here. There was an incident where the sister was between the parties and Johnny said he was hit, but Amber admits that she hit him. It's just the severity of the hit that's at issue. So I don't know if we're going to see this or not in the current trial.
Dominic, your thoughts about this strange video of Amber's sister?
Honestly, not sure what to make of it. I don't know how much it helps.
Dr. Judy Ho, does it reveal anything to you?
I think, again, the picture that is emerging, and I think there's multiple strands of evidence coming together, is sort of, again, this picture of Amer as a chaotic person. This is maybe not just to Johnny, but maybe she is abusive to all people in her life, other family members. Chaos is sort of the way that she lives. Obviously, when she gets on the stand, that's going to be a big moment because she's going to get to explain herself in all of these different ways. But as all of these things are being played out in the public, I think it's showing that the public is saying we're on Johnny's side. There could be a lot of different reasons for that, but it does seem like the public's opinion is, hey, we're with Johnny because we can see that Amer might be a volatile person. Now, once we hear from Amer, we're going to really be able to have an even playing field here. But because we haven't yet, this is all sort of just her watching herself, having these video clips, having all these other things surface on the internet about her that isn't really very pretty right now.
Okay, let's go to what Chris mentioned, which was the incident on the staircase. Evidence in this case, a significant event, and I think Whitney, Amer's sister, will testify about this, as will Amer, and Johnny already did. Let's take a listen.
We were in penthouse 5 area, which was where Ms. Heard had her office at the top of the stairs. And so the stairs came down, and then there was a landing, and then another set of stairs went down the opposite direction. This took place on the landing, where she was coming out, trying to get to me, trying to hit me, trying to do anything she could. And then Whitney, her sister, was there who stepped in the way. Whitney stepped in front of Amer and was facing Amer to stop Amer. And when she was in between us, Amer snuck in she reached, got the roundhouse in and just nailed me on the cheekbone.
He was about to push my sister down the stairs. She was attempting to break us up. I am protective over my baby sister. When he laid hands on her, I don't know what I did, but I know I jumped in between the actions that I saw could lead to a fatal injury to my sister. She was standing on the top of a flight of the stairs, and she has never hurt anyone in her life, and she does not deserve to be pushed down the flight of stairs. And it looked like she was about to be. And I would have done what anybody who has a child or a sister would have done. I acted defensively in her life. I saw her standing on top of a flight of stairs and trying to interrupt a fight in between him and I. I don't know what part of my body I put in between me and him and her, but I would have done anything. I would have done anything to prevent her from being pushed down a flight of stairs.
All right, Dominic, do you think Johnny is going to push Whitney down the stairs, or do you think it's Johnny's version sounds more reasonable?
Not sure who the jury is going to believe here, but I know the net effect is not a positive one.
What do you mean?
I just don't know here the believability factor. If this is brought in, who the jury is going to believe.
Chris Melcher, what are your thoughts about this incident?
Vinnie,
this is a big incident.
Yeah, just looking at those clips, Johnny, when he describes it, he's calm, he's collected, he's, measured. When Amer's describing that incident, you could see the aggression in her face and the way she was communicating. I mean, it is not a good defense for her to act that way. And if she does that on the stand next week, it toasts her case. I mean, the worst thing you can do when you're accused of being an aggressor is to act aggressively. And in that, she looked really mean.
All right. Thank you all. What a great job tonight. Dr. Judy Ho, Chris Melcher, Dominic Romano. Dominic, next time we'll get your video all hooked up. Sorry about that. But wow, thank you for joining us on this Friday night.